Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. My top 5 perfumes for the month of November. What are they? I began, where did we end in October? One of my favorite months because it's the month of Halloween. We ended with Shalimar, the Eau de Parfum, for the night, for the deepest of nights. I think that's what we ended with. I'll have to double check again, but that's exactly how I felt throughout October. But then November, as I finally hunted down the Eau de Cologne concentration of Shalimar, I have to say my beginning fragrance for the morning even is the Eau de Cologne. And look how much I've been using this. It's you know, I'm using it. You literally bathe in this stuff. It's that good. And it has a little bit of a pissy, kind of skanky, you know, touch in it, but it's animalic, but it's really, really good. Quite different from the Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Cologne, I don't know, it wakes me up in a way. It does keep me warm, but also fresh at the same time. It's a very, very weird, it's a paradox of a fragrance because it does have the cologne kind of freshness, almost citrusy tone, but then it also has the depth of the warmest Guerlain vanilla. And both of these things coexist together. So that's why this one is also good for the morning, to wake up instead of a coffee, you know, just to wake up and feel, I don't know, ready for the day. I bathe in this. I spray it all over the body. It's that good. So this is my number 1. Then as the day progresses, I veer away from the vanilla. And I wish to relive those Alfred Hitchcock type of noir moments in his movies that only he could kind of make, that only he could portray. There's a certain dryness to his films. You should check them out, like Rear Window or Vertigo. The Bird's a bit less, fits less into... The Bird's fits, but only when Tippi is kind of driving towards the bay and you have that bird in the cage in the car next to her feet, and there's like kind of a shot of her feet on the, she could, you know, on the brakes of the car or on the speed, and then she has those gorgeous leather shoes, and even the car has a sort of a carpet underneath. I mean, it's that sort of elegance, but also dryness to it. Kind of the dryness of the Hitchcock blondes is all enshrined inside DIORAMOUR. This is just my personal opinion, but DIORAMOUR is all about that. This is a 40 ml bottle. It's so sophisticated. It's so dry, but at the same time, there's a hint of wetness in there. It's really, really that good. So this is my number 2 because November can be a dry month. It can be a very cold month in some parts of the world, but usually not so. I mean, it could start snowing some places, but usually there's not a lot of rain. So there's a cool dryness in it. And that's what DIORAMOUR is all about. And then number 3, in the heart of the day, around 5, 6 p.m., we go red. The Chanel No. 5 Eau de Parfum. This is the holiday season edition, you might call it. It's the same concentration, the same formulation as their clear bottles of the Eau de Parfum Chanel No. 5. It's just, you know, a lot of people have been asking me, Dacob, is this another concentration? Does it smell different? No. It's supposed to be the same liquid, the same fragrance, the same perfume. It's just a different colored bottle, which unfortunately also costs more because of the bottle. It's delicious. It's divine. And it just makes you want to use it all the time. The red bottle and kind of this blood-stained, intense red glass is just to die for. And it's really hard to kind of see all of its facets unless you're not literally looking at it live. The video doesn't do it justice. The fragrance, obviously no video does a fragrance justice. As long as technology doesn't deliver odorama, we won't be able to smell perfumes through the screen. And as long as we can't smell perfumes through the screen, you know, what are you going to do? You have to envision it. Number 4 is another Chanel. Now this is very interesting. It's La Pausa. I'm using it a lot. As you can see, it's like kind of, it's going, 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 gone. It will be soon. La Pausa is, it's a paradox in itself as well. I guess November is the month of paradoxes, at least for 2018. Because the eau de toilette concentration, which, as I said before, for those, you could check out my unboxing of this one and the explanation behind why this is one of the only two eau de parfum les exclusives that I purchase. One being Gardenia and one being La Pausa. So as I explained in the video, 28 La Pausa, which is the eau de toilette, is very different than La Pausa eau de parfum. In fact, they took away the 28 to simplify, I guess, the name of the perfume. Maybe also because they knew that a couple of seasons later, the collection, the cruise collection La Pausa was going to come out. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, when they changed the name, it's as if kind of subconsciously they knew that it's a different perfume. Yes, there's a lot of orris root. There's leathery hints and notes. There's the iris there as well in both concentrations. But 28 La Pausa is a more sophisticated, soft, but at the same time, I don't know, more cryptic fragrance created by Jacques Polge. Olivier Polge made La Pausa, the eau de parfum. It's a bit more bold, it's more intense, it's more striking. It can be cloying even if you're not into that sort of intense, almost oily version of the orris root, because the orris root in 28 La Pausa is not oily at all. It's more wet than oily, and water and oil are two different things. They don't really mix, you know. Oil always floats on top of water. So 28 La Pausa is more like the watery version of the orris root, and this is the oily version of the orris root. By that, I don't mean that this fragrance is kind of like an essential oil and that it kind of is oily on the skin. It's not, but if it's really hot outside, 28 La Pausa smells divine. If it's really hot outside, La Pausa doesn't work. So when it gets cooler, that's when La Pausa kind of unfolds its magic. And that's why I also think this one is really good in the evenings, while 28 La Pausa is really good in the mornings. I know sometimes I spray 28 La Pausa also to go to bed, but usually I spray 28 La Pausa to go to bed in warmer months. This one is the version to spray on in colder months, but also to wear during the day. If it's a cool, fresh, cold day, the paradox of this one is it can warm you up. It seriously can warm you up while you're wearing it, and that's amazing. So yes, both thumbs up to La Pausa. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's a very special fragrance. It's not for everybody though, so do not blind buy. Always try it out first. And the fifth and last one, this is crazy, but for what it is, it's COCO Mademoiselle, the pure perfume, in a spray bottle. This is 7.5 ml bottle with its little kind of glittery, not metallic, it is metal, and then it's kind of sprayed glittery container. What is crazy about this, I don't like this during the day, but I love to spray it before I go to bed. Just like one spray right here on the center, like on my chest, like a little bit high, right at the base of the neckline. I spray it there and it just lulls me to sleep. It's very intense, but not too intense, because Chanel pure perfumes are not, people think that, oh, it's a pure perfume, it should be extremely intense. Usually they're not. They stay very close to the skin, but they should have, you know, good quality. Chanel No. 5, the pure perfume, has incredible quality. It's so delicious, especially the dry down. This one, as all COCO Mademoiselle concentrations formulated by Jacques Polge, the dry down isn't the best on my skin, as opposed to the dry down of COCO Mademoiselle Intense, formulated by Olivier Polge. That one is tweaked in the formulation, so the dry down doesn't go too pissy on me. This one can go a bit too sour when it dries down. But that's the cool thing about going to sleep with this one. I'm fast asleep before that dry down kicks in. Haha. So I found my kind of way to unlock it, but I love the opening notes. The opening and the mid portion, the heart notes of the pure perfume of COCO Mademoiselle, it's really, really that good. And it's becoming a classic. I know that the 2000s have been the COCO Mademoiselle years. So for a certain period of time, the early 2000s, like you would smell Coco Mademoiselle and it would smell of that specific period of time. But the more time goes by, now we're in 2018, the more distance it has from its original date of release, and the more to me it becomes timeless, and the less I can kind of frame it within the year that it was created. So that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. I just wish that Chanel would create more pure perfumes in spray versions of 7.5 as well as 15 ml, and heck, why not even 30 ml? They just don't do it because people are not buying that much anymore, pure perfumes. It's a pity. So this would be my top 5 for the month of November, fragrances 2018. I hope you liked my list. Let me know what your favorites are in the comment section down below, and don't forget, just in 2 weeks' time, I'm giving a workshop, social media, video editing, film editing, how to use YouTube, how to use, how to go about with the music, the fair rights use, how to edit a video, for film as opposed to how to do it within social media contexts on YouTube or for Instagram. It's a totally different approach. And how can you also try to work and strive towards becoming independent with your own videos, or doing it also as a side gig or hobby, and make some money as well on top of having a job. So there are really interesting topics that I've dealt with since 2014 when I began my YouTube channel. So it's been a while now, up to today. And it's also interesting to see how quickly regulations, rules, and the entire landscape of video editing within social media changes on a daily basis. So 17th, 18th November, it's on a weekend, Saturday, Sunday. 8 hours a day course, basically. So you could check that out. All information for the workshop is in the description box down below. If 2 people join, if you kind of apply with 2 people at the same time, you do get 20% reduction as well. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, but wish to, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. See you all very soon. Don't ever forget to never give up on love. Love you. Bye.